Hi and welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at running multiple threads at once and sharing some state between them. Okay, so I've created a new file which I've called nonlockedthreads.py. But before we start writing some code, I just wanted to sort of tell you about something, and that is, what is an atomic operation? Atomic operations are very important when you're doing multi-threaded code. An atomic operation is one that cannot be interrupted in the middle of it. So you cannot interrupt an atomic operation halfway through it by changing to a new thread, okay? Whenever you're doing an atomic operation, you know that it's going to finish before you can unplug the thread from the core and put another one in. For example, a print statement cannot print only half the line and then be interrupted. Similarly, appending to a deck, or a DQ if you're like me and you like saying that, appending to a deck cannot be interrupted halfway through. If you start appending to a deck, you say, deck.append, you know that the thing will be appended to the deck before you remove the thread from the core. Okay, so atomic operations are very important when you have this shared state between threads. Okay, and we're going to look at an example of where we're going to have a function that's not atomic and why that poses a problem. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to do from threading import threads. I'm going to use good old threads instead of the thread pool executor just for this. I think it's going to be a bit easier to see what's going on. We're going to import time, and we're also going to import random because we're going to be randomizing some things. Then we're going to have a global variable in our file, which is going to be 0. Okay. And then we're going to have a function called increment counter. And what this is going to do is it's going to say global counter, access the global variable counter, do counter plus equal 1, and then print new counter value is counter. And then it's also going to print a few lines just so we can separate new counter values from one before the other. Now, from what we know about single-threaded code, if we do for x in range 10, and then we do increment counter, what do we think is going to happen? Hopefully you send, what I'd expect is that you'll start up here. X will be 0, it's going to run 10 times. The first time you're going to go into increment counter, you're going to access global counter, which is going to be 0. You're going to increase it by 1, so it's going to be 1. You're going to print out new counter value is 1. You're going to print out these lines. Then you're going to go back to the end of the function. You're going to repeat your